right outside the McDonald's on Flatbush Avenue. He was sitting there quietly, half covered in snow, while people passed by as if he weren't real. A few children pointed at him, and one even laughed, but no one stopped, not even an adult or a family, until Cameron said, "Dad." He pulled my sleeve and asked, "Do you see him?" When I turned, I saw the puppy completely black with no color patches, as if he had been dipped in charcoal. His fur was also saturated from the snow melting beneath him. His ribs were barely visible through his body, and he remained motionless when a car honked close by. It was Sunday, our only day off, and we had just pulled into the lot to have lunch together when Cameron noticed the dog sitting against the wall near the door, where the warm air pushed out whenever someone opened it. There was no collar, tags, or leash, just a little. For a few seconds, the three of us watched as the black shadow melted into the street, attempting to determine where he had come from and whether he belonged to anyone. Perhaps someone was inside simply getting food. But the more we observed, the more obvious it seemed that he was by himself. Cameron approached the dog without asking permission, walked up with his burger, and knelt down in front of him. I followed, expecting the dog to run, but he didn't even raise his head until the smell hit him, at which point I noticed his eyes, which were green like broken glass in the morning sun, like I had never seen before. Are you the one, or are you just going to keep walking? A dog with eyes like that, not just because of their color, but also because of the way they look through you. Without growling, wagging his tail, or showing fear, he devoured the burger slowly at first, then another, as if every chew was timed against hope. "Heather, what do we do?" he asked as he moved next to me, arms crossed tightly against the breeze. She gently inquired. I didn't have an answer. I went back to the car, grabbed one of our reusable coffee cups, and filled it with water from inside the McDonald's. The dog lapped at it as if he hadn't seen water in days while Cameron held it steady, and when he was done, we couldn't bear it as he curled back into his position, his shoulders taut, his nose tucked, and his tail wrapped to keep his paws warm. Heather advised us to wait and see if someone came for him. We stayed for about an hour, but no one arrived. When we drove away, Cameron continued to wriggle in his seat, wondering, what if he's still there tonight? I wasn't sure what to say when he asked, even know how to feel, but I must admit that those emerald eyes kept coming to mind. Cameron and Heather couldn't get along for the entire drive home, and he remained silent after that, simply gazed out the window in silence that evening as we watched Molly and me together. It wasn't intentional, it just happened. I cried too, though I'd never admit it, but Cameron didn't just cry. Instead, he held my arm in the manner he did as a young boy and remarked, "That dog waited too." I had trouble sleeping, and Cameron didn't come downstairs with his winter jacket, hood up, gloves, and that determined expression on his face the following morning. Based on the way he came down the stairs wearing his jacket, that he didn't say good morning or are we going back, and instead waited by the front door with his shoes in one hand and the other on the doorknob. Heather and I looked at our coffee mugs, but there were no words, just that silent understanding that comes only after years. He saved it for game day. We drove through and I finished my last drink, got up, and got my keys.